Hello, Janesville, and welcome back to Park Place Views, the monthly program that aims to keep Janesville residents informed by highlighting the people, places, and partners of the City of Janesville. As always, this program is brought to you by the City of Janesville and JATV Media Services. I'm your host, Amanda Gilbert, the Communication Specialist for the City of Janesville. In last month's episode, we sat down with Hedberg Public Library Director Eric Robinson. Director Robinson has just rounded out his first year with the HPL, so we talked about all he's accomplished so far and what's to come for the library as we navigate through the rest of 2025. Today, I'm looking forward to being joined by Kris Koch, the Janesville Farmers Market Manager. Now that it's May and the outdoor farmers market is in full swing, I thought it would be a great time to have Kris on to talk about what you can expect when you visit the market this year. Thank you so much for joining us today, Kris.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. Before we jump into all the questions and what people need to know before they go, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I grew up in Madison, lived on the East Coast for 13 years, then moved back. So I've lived in Janesville for 20 years now, as of August. And I'm really excited about the changes that we've seen downtown and how much impact the farmers market is making. And it's just really a great community.
Yeah, it's definitely been on the up and up, and the farmers market, and we'll jump into this too, but the farmers market has just grown every year, so It's super exciting.
It is.
Speaking of every year, this is the farmers market's 20th season.
It is.
Could you tell us a little bit about the history and how it got started?
Sure. I believe that it started with a group of farmers and vendors who are incredibly committed to having local produce and product available for, the community. And since they started 20 years ago on Main Street in Janesville, they've had a board of directors that's a mix of vendors and the community. So it's a way for, vendors to keep tabs on things and give their input, as well as, community members who might be, helpful in other ways.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And as the market manager, what does that look like in terms of organizing a successful market each week?
So there is a ton of pre-work. I prefer to be really proactive and do everything, before the market, so that if anything happens, I can be available to, celebrate or possibly put out some fires. Right. So there's a lot of prep work. We have market management software that allows me to create applications, bill vendors, sign them up and put them on an interactive vendor map. So everybody, the community, can know each week which vendors are coming.
Oh, awesome.
And helps me with billing and, just like a lot of different awesome things. And then I have some low-tech things that I also do, like, mapping things out by hand, because I'm a very touch person and learn by using as many senses as possible. So that's kind of it. It's a lot of moving parts, but since this is my fourth season at the market, I'm not moving anybody that I don't have to.
Right.
And I feel really comfortable with where we're at.
Well, good. Prepared on all fronts then. Ready to go.
Mostly, yes.
At least right now.
Absolutely.
So when people want to go to the market, because they're going to want to after watching this, when and where does it take place?
It takes place every Saturday from May 3rd through October 25th in 2025. And it's at Town Square, which is sort of a park. I'm not sure they call it exactly a park, but it was a project that was initiated by the city and Arrives Now and a bunch of different community members to remove that parking deck and have a venue that could be used for all sorts of different events. So it's on both sides of the Rock River between Court and Milwaukee Streets, and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. each Saturday.
Yeah, and you really can't miss it. You drive by, you see all the people, you see all
like,
the
what is going on?
Right.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier before the show started, before we started taping, about how you have more food truck vendors than you ever have so far.
Sure.
Outside of the food truck vendors, what can shoppers expect to find?
Early in the season, you're going to find rhubarb, asparagus, cold weather crops like greens, some herbs, maybe some microgreens. Let's see what else. Depending on if they have cold frames or greenhouses, they might bring in some other things. So we have produce vendors. We have prepared food vendors like bakeries and lots of drinks vendors. Get your coffee, get your boba,
Nice.
all the things that you need to walk around the market. And then a lot of really great handcrafted items from local crafters.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's tough for anyone and everybody.
Yes.
You know, you could go with no plan in mind at all
Yes.
and walk out with a bag full of goodies.
Oh, yes. I always do.
Yeah, me too. Me too. You mentioned the interactive vendor map.
Yes.
For folks, where can they find that so they know what vendors are going to be there ahead of their visit?
They can go to the JanesvilleFarmersMarket.com, and there is a link right, I think, on the homepage, and I believe there might be a tab as well. We've had a few changes. I can't remember exactly where the second part is, but right there. And then you can search by vendor or by product, and it'll bring up vendors and show you exactly where they are.
Oh, awesome. Super
Yes.
easy peasy.
Oh my gosh, it's so amazingly helpful. Yes.
Yeah. I think something that folks who haven't been to the market in a while might not know is that it's more than just going and shopping.
Right.
You guys have different events, you have theme days. Can you tell us some of the things you have planned for this season?
Sure. Yeah, so the market has really become an experience, which it's more than just come shop, buy your rhubarb or asparagus and go home. You can come and you can kind of stroll the market with family and friends. There are places to sit. There are lots of dogs because dogs are allowed at the market.
Incredible.
And I know it's, I think, the only park in Janesville that allows dogs year round. So it's pretty special.
Yeah.
And we have great, well-behaved dogs coming to the market. Thank you, all the dog owners. Some of the special events that we have, this year we're trying something a little bit different just to maximize resources. We are having more organizations hold their fundraisers within the market. And this benefits both of us. They have exposure to our customer base, and we get exposure to people that may not have been to the market before. And so it's a really great collaboration. We can publicize and promote together. It's just a really great way of promoting how we're working on growing the community and good things like that. I think right now, I think the special event of the year is September 20th. We are going to have a celebration for our 20th anniversary.
Oh, fun.
And we are going to be doing some fundraising and trying to boost up our followers on social media and things like that. So there'll be a lot of fun things and more information coming out for the fundraising. And then the first Saturday in October is Dog Day, and that's always a big favorite.
Nice, yes.
We are also doing a couple of contests. Last year, for the first time at the end of the season, we did something called Flavor Fall Sips. We had 5 vendors who make drinks, create something with fall flavors, and then people would buy a ticket and then go taste them all, and then they voted who was the winner. And so we're going to do 2 of those this year. One of them is going to be like a baking contest, and the other one will be the Flavor Fall Sips again.
That's super awesome. Tons of fun things going on. And
Yes.
definitely something for everybody to check out when they go visit the market.
Absolutely.
If folks are interested in becoming a vendor, how do they sign up? They just show up, or how does that process work?
At this point in the season, we have our core vendors, a really good core, but there are still some spaces available. They can apply online at JanesvilleFarmersMarket.com. There's a link to the vendor application. It's online, easy to fill out. I would actually prefer that they call me first because I can tell them before they have to go through the whole process whether or not we would have room for them. I hate to disappoint people. They get so excited. Wisconsin, I think, is one of the only states that allows home bakers to sell at farmers markets. So we have a lot of home bakers reaching out, and I did have to put a message on the application. Sorry, we're full with home bakers. And just, call me if they have questions. Should I give my number?
If you want to, yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
So 608-289-9292 or JanesvilleFarmersMarket@gmail.com.
Awesome. So if they're interested, just reach out. We'll
Reach
get 'em
out,
all.
yes, and then we can talk.
Awesome. One of the things I've noticed some other farmers markets do as they offer EBT and food share programs.
Yes.
Does the Janesville Farmers Market participate in that?
Yes, we have a long-standing history with that, and it's really, really important for a large group of people. Most people don't know that downtown Janesville is actually a food desert, which means there are no like easily accessible grocery stores that sell healthy foods within, an area. So the farmers market is not only something fun to do, but it's really important for a lot of residents in the area. We do EBT programs, and we often have other things where we work with community health partners to try to do some extra things. This year, we're going to be starting a double dollars program where if people buy 15 tokens, they'll get 15 for free, courtesy
nice.
of SSM Health. And, just lots of ways to boost people who are suffering from food insecurity.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's so beneficial that you guys offer this, giving people access and the ability to fresh produce, fresh baked goods.
Yes.
That's huge in our community.
It is. And the other great thing about that program is 100% of those dollars spent on the tokens goes to our vendors.
Oh, nice.
So we don't take any management fees out or anything like that. So if somebody gives a vendor 5 tokens for a loaf of bread, I will give them a check at the first week of the next month, $5.
Oh, nice.
So it helps small business, it helps our vendors with an incremental revenue source, and it really helps the people who need it the most.
Yeah, absolutely. A real win-win.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned at the start of the program, Kris, that this is your 4th season with the farmers market now.
Yeah.
How have you seen the market grow and expand over the last couple of years?
So last year on opening day was the biggest market in the history of ever.
Wow.
So the word is getting out. It's post-COVID enough years where people aren't as afraid to go out in public and be around other people. The word is getting out. We've been boosting our marketing budget and trying to work with media sponsors to get the word out better. And it's really working.
Good. That's so great to see. I know I'm a market frequenter. And so over the last couple of years that I've gone, every Saturday gets busier and busier. And it's just nice to see all these people coming and supporting local Janesville businesses and the vendors. And, just seeing people downtown has been really great.
Yes. How I kind of look at the market is we're sort of an umbrella that keeps small businesses in business. So currently I have about 125 vendors who have applied. And so we're offering this forum for these small businesses to thrive in because they probably don't have their own brick and mortar, or, it's not as lucrative to have like a farm stand sometimes, like if you're in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
So this is a great opportunity for us to continue to grow community, both, financially and opportunities. I promote collaboration between vendors, and it's been really great to see them working on projects like, a special coffee syrup that has lavender and honey in it. And so there's 3 different vendors working together. Or a woman who does laser cutting of wood type things and making signs for other vendors. So I strongly encourage that, and it's been really great to see that grow too.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
If someone hasn't made it out to the market, what would be the first thing you tell them to check out?
First thing to check out is Tricky, because, I have my favorite vendors. I'll be fair and I'll just say every part of the market is amazing. We have coffee and drinks at every main entry to the market. So you come in, you get your drink first, and then lots of bakeries and baked goods and things like that. We have a DJ 18 out of the 26 weeks of the market, and he rocks. So it's just amazing to feel that vibe. When he's there, the vibe is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned at the beginning, the farmers market runs through October.
Yes.
But the good news is that doesn't mean a farmers market disappears from Janesville.
Right.
Though that's when the winter's market starts up for you guys.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that and what folks can expect if they show up there?
Sure. So I believe that actually started the same year that there were COVID restrictions for people getting together. So the same year we moved downtown was the same year the winter market was started at Uptown Janesville, which is formerly the Janesville Mall. And what's been great about that is, again, the strolling experience, where we have vendors up to, I think I have room for like 80 vendors.
Wow.
But I don't use all the spaces necessarily. Usually like on average about 50. And we just kind of have them down the centers of all the hallways. And we are bringing a ton of people there. And that happens, I think last year there's five Saturdays in November. And so that kind of got us off. It's usually the 1st and 3rd for November, December. So just have to check our website. We haven't totally nailed down our dates for this year. But it's 2 in November, 2 in December, and then the first Saturday of the month, January, February, March, and April. And I think next year the time is going to be 9 to 1 or 2. I'm not 100% sure yet.
Awesome. So folks just need to check out your Facebook or your website. And
yes.
You can be going to the market all year round.
That's right. That's right.
That's great. If people are interested in supporting the market, what are some of the different ways they can do that?
Well, first of all, come to the market. That's the most important thing. And second of all, we have sponsorship opportunities, as low as whatever you want to give. We have branded shopping bags that we accept donations for. We'll be doing a fundraiser later in the year for the public, or with the public. And if somebody wants to volunteer, they can reach out to me personally, and I'm happy to talk about any opportunities.
Awesome. Tons of different ways people can support just outside of going.
Right. Yep.
We touched a little bit on it earlier, but why is something like the farmers market so important for a community?
I think especially these days, with there being so much online contact between people and that personal touch is gone, it's incredibly important to see people interacting with other people and just realizing, oh, these are my neighbors. We may have different interests and beliefs, but here we are a community. Right. And that is my goal, to promote that as much as possible. Like, let's build community. Let's not let outside factors sway us. Let's be together and enjoy one another and be good humans.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great perspective to have on it, and really, you're pushing the collaboration, not just between the vendors, but within the whole community. I think is fantastic.
Yeah. I guess people might argue with me. I don't feel like I'm a competitor. I'm much more interested in working with people, because you get more. It's less, it's not as hard to compete and be like, I must win. Right. So I'm not about that. Sometimes people will be like, well, what do you think our market is better than Beloit's market? I'm like, I'm not even going there, because they need that market just as much as we need ours. Right. They're great. We'll never talk badly about that. And I know the manager there, and she's a great woman. So
yeah, absolutely. We are just about out of time, Kris. Okay. But before I let you go, if folks want additional information or they have any questions, what's the best way they can reach you?
You can go to our website, www.janesvillefarmersmarket.com. You can find us on Facebook. Just search Janesville Farmers Market. Or you can call or email me, janesvillefarmersmarket@gmail.com, or the phone number is 608-289-9292.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today, Kris. On behalf of myself and the viewers, I know we're all super excited to get out there and experience the 20th season of the Farmers Market.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of our viewers, I want to thank everyone for tuning in today and for all you do to help make Janesville a vibrant and diverse community to discover life's opportunities. I invite you to stay connected with the city by following us on Facebook and Instagram, signing up for notifications from the JPD via the Nixle app, and signing up to receive city press releases by visiting janesvillewi.gov/email lists. For Park Place Views and the City of Janesville, I'm Amanda Gilbert. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again next month.